Hey guys, Starkiller here. Hope you guys are having an amazing day so far. Don't forget to hit that like button, smash that subscribe button. Let's get right into the video. Types of students. There's many different stereotypical students. This first one I'm going to talk about, we all know and kind of love, is the class clowns. Now, usually at all means possible, they try to get as much attention as possible, even if it gets them in trouble. I'm pretty sure at some point we've all encountered someone like that in our lives. Like, there's this one kid in my class who literally, I'm not even joking, has to stay in with our math teacher for like every other day. Now, the way our math class works, it's split into two different groups. They are both, there's two different math teachers, and they're all in two different rooms. One is advanced math class, and one is a regular one. There's 6 people in my math class. I'm in the regular one. And I'm not even going to lie, my class is full of people who like to get in trouble a lot. And since we're in a small group, I guess my class clown takes that as an invitation to crack random jokes and also do stupid things. Like, he went to the bathroom, and after a while, he started to peek his head in and out of the room. Now, my math teacher is pretty chill, kind of laid back, so when he got back, he really didn't even care. I feel like the more you give class clowns attention, the more they'll do stupid things. You know, kind of that type of stereotypical breed. Anyway, next type of student I'm going to talk about is the quiet kids. Now, I'm one of those kids. That's why most of my teachers either like me or they just literally forget I even exist entirely. And I don't really mind it because it really helps me. I'm only like this during the class though. Like, when I'm out with other people and friends and stuff, I tend to be really talkative. Now, there's a stereotypical meme going around, that the quiet kid is school shooter. And sometimes, yes, that can be entirely true. I won't deny that. But like, some kids in my breed are like, they're just quiet, like naturally quiet. It's just in their nature to do that. And, most of them are kind of antisocial and don't like to talk to people. Of course, my kind is pretty prone to be targeted by teachers, when you're quiet and stuff. They either think you're not paying attention or, you're just not participating. They just want to call you out in class, and that really sucks a lot of times. This next student I'm going to talk about is the weird kid who acts and says weird questions. Now, like, there's this kid in my class. For the purpose of the story, I'm going to call him Jay. Now, Jay is known in my class for his weird questions. Like, every single day, I'm not even joking, in a religion class, he'll ask my religion teacher weird things like, when are you going to expire? When are you going to retire? How do you see yourself dying? Like, this dude, he's on a whole nother level of weird. And a lot of people, they like him asking these questions because they like to waste time so we don't get to it and stuff. And like I say, it's pretty weird. And at this point, like I said, it's pretty weird and strange. And it's really crazy. Don't get me wrong. It's okay to be different and weird. Everyone has some weird inside of them. But considering the level of concerning questions he asks is pretty strange, especially what they're about. Now, the next person I'm going to talk about is going to be the overachiever or nerd, whatever you want to call it. Now, I'll admit, when it comes to certain things, I am totally a nerd. It depends, about different topics and stuff. Now, there's nothing wrong with being smart, but some people just take it to a whole nother level. Like, let's say someone got a B and gets really pissed about it, and now I've seen this happen in the past in some situations, and now I know some people's parents are strict and about it. And if you don't get an A on like everything, they'd probably be mad and pissed. And I know some parents want their child to succeed at everything. And let me just say, in my personal opinion, I think they're wrong. I think that's a pretty horrible way to teach your child. Because, yeah, it's just a really wrong way to me that I think you should teach your child. Because your child shouldn't feel like they have to do well and on everything. And if they don't, do something perfectly the first time because no one's perfect, like I said. And, pressuring your kid about it, that could have a negative effect on them in the future. Now, there's some rare occasions occasions where it actually helps them, but like 95% of the time, it doesn't really work, and it kind of ruins their thought process. So I strongly disagree with this parenting method. Don't get me wrong, you should at least put some effort into your work. Like, don't just sit there and just don't put any effort into it and just half do it. And that's not what I'm saying at all. You should at least try to put effort, and try to get great grades. But you shouldn't have to feel pressured about it every single time. That's why parents should be happy with their child if they try their absolute best on something. And if they still fail, they should support them, and tell them that they'll do it better next time. Now, an overachiever usually is not liked by a lot of people. Like, for instance, we've all had at least one experience or time where the teacher forgets about an assignment, and of course, it's always the one kid in your class who just has to remind them. And I don't know why they do this, because it doesn't benefit them in any way. All it does is make the rest of the class hate them even more than they usually do. There's also the type of overachievers who sit there and brag about their grades, like they just rub it in your face, like, they got an A, look at you, you failure. Like, those type of people, it's just why? It's like, no one cares. Good for you, you got a good grade. It's not my concern at all whether you got a good grade or not. And some people are actually like this, which is kind of insane to me, I like to point out that nerds and geeks, on a side note, are two completely different breeds. Now, there's a common misconception, that they're like basically mean the same thing, but there are just two different words, and that's completely wrong. Nerds usually love to learn, getting good grades, learning about different topics and stuff like that. And geeks usually like sci-fi and other shows like that, and fictional shows, and then they'll tend to like talk about and discuss his shows with other people. Now, I consider myself more on the in-between side, between geek and nerd thing, because certain subjects and topics, sometimes I like to learn about them, like history. I'm really like that, it's pretty cool. And, I'm also on the geek side, because, I'm a huge sci-fi fan, I love Star Wars, and those other shows. And whenever I hear Star Wars, like Naruto and stuff like that, and now I know Naruto isn't a sci-fi, but whenever I hear someone talking about it, or something similar to like it, I love to like join in the conversation, because it's so fun to like talk about something else that you have in common with somebody. I feel like everybody knows that, and I will do in the future a separate video on my thoughts on Naruto a little later, but to get back on topic, I'll talk about one of the last ones I'm going to talk about here is going to be the popular kids. Now, back in my old school, I was telling you about my old school back in my teacher's video. If you haven't seen that yet, you should 100% go check it out. Would recommend. Now, one of these kids, mostly because I was one of these kids, sorry. My brother at the time, he was in middle school, and he was also decently popular. So whenever I would walk past, some middle schoolers, most of the time they would, know me and say hello and all that crap. I was mostly popular because at the time, I'm not even joking when I say this, there were literally 13 kids in my class. So it's pretty impossible not to get noticed. Now, after I left the school, the one I'm currently going to right now is much larger in class. So much so that there are 2 7th grades. That also applies to like every single grades except for pre-K. If they have 4 pre-Ks, they have 4 of those. And yeah, my school's pretty big. Anyway, so now I'm decently known. But some of the kids from the other 7th grade, we call them 7B. They don't know who I am or know that I exist at all. And yeah, that's crazy. Crazy thing to think about that. One of the other 7 guys know. Mostly because some of them are like new kids. So back in 2020, we were in COVID and the pandemic and everything. And there's some new students in our class, and since we were on Zoom, they have never met or seen me before, so that's probably why they don't know me. Now popular kids, they usually get in trouble a lot, and just like the class clown, they seek lots of attention from other people. like the class just like the class clown, like I was saying. Some of them can be mean, others can be pretty neutral. They just don't care what you do and what you don't do. Now, here's a little life lesson. If you're not that known, you don't have many friends, you don't consider yourself a popular person, let me tell you this, give you this little piece of advice. At the end of the day, in the real world, none of that popularity matters. A lot of kids feel pressured, and try their best to get people to like them and notice them. And like I said to you, don't have to prove yourself to anyone but yourself. Only way to get people to actually like and respect you is through hard work and effort. That's the main way to get others to respect you. No, that's the main way to do it. Like I said, most kids feel really pressured into doing that. Like school is a lot of times a popularity contest. And people get bullied about it, and it really sucks. It sucks that the world works like that these days, and it just sucks. But that's how it goes. But like I was saying, none of that really matters in the real world. All that popularity people spend time and time trying to get, it does not matter at all. Because, like I said, when you graduate, you're going to need a job, and popularity is not going to really get you a job necessarily. So, none of that matters. Anyway, guys, that's going to conclude for this video today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe. Check out for daily uploads. I upload every single day, so I'll be sure to always check. Leave a comment, peace out, Starkiller out.